for America. This is Carolyn. May I help you?
Yes, hi. I've been seeing a bunch of her commercials on children
Yes.
about how she fights for children. Can you tell me more about that?
You mean the policies that she's proposing that relate to helping children?
Yes, and what she actually does, if anything.
And what she actually does personally?
Well, yes.
Well, I would say one of the most important, and it really speaks to her perseverance and force of character, is you may remember when her husband was elected president, he put her in charge of a task force to take a second look at health care.
Mm-hmm.
And the Republicans essentially ended up torpedoing that. It was a great disappointment to her, but she picked herself back up, which is her style, and worked closely with, I believe it was John McCain. It was one of the Republican senators at that time in the early 90s. And they created the Children's Health Insurance Plan, which provided insurance for, I believe the number was 8 million previously uninsured kids.
Mm-hmm.
So it's one of her achievements that doesn't get much recognition, but was hugely important. These were mostly kids in poverty, and she helped millions with that. On top of that, I think in terms more recently, among her proposals, one of her big focuses is helping particularly single women with children who represent disproportionately more of the poor in this country.
Yeah.
And she's suggesting, a variety of programs specifically directed at helping people out of poverty and into the middle class.
Mm-hmm.
So, that includes things like universal child care, equal pay for equal work for women, family leave coverage.
Mm-hmm.
And she's not, it's not restricted to women, but the fact is that poor women, and particularly poor women of color, are disproportionately represented in, among the poor in the States.
Right.
So, those are a few of her policies, but what I would suggest, if you really want to find out more, is, have you been to her website?
No, I only have a smartphone.
I see.
She's pro-choice, right?
Yes, she is. Good point. I probably should have mentioned that.
Right.
She believes very strongly in women's right to choose and women's right to control their own bodies. And
right. So how does she reconcile her stance on abortion with her fight to help children? I mean, at what point does a child stop becoming a blob and turn into a child where she would fight for it?
Am I reading between the lines correctly that you are pro-life?
Oh, you're very perceptive. How does a person fight for the life of a child in one instance and then approve of disposing of it in another?
Well, without kind of engaging us in a full debate about things, obviously opinions differ about when a fetus becomes a person.
Well, you know, opinions are opinions, facts are facts. Everybody thinks they have an opinion, but the fact is, it's human from conception, correct?
You know, sir, I'm a volunteer here, and actually, my job is not necessarily to defend Hillary or, you know, get into a debate with you about issues like that. It happens to be that, but
Well, where did all your enthusiasm go?
well, I'm plenty enthusiastic. It's just that my job is to take incoming calls and to register voters' concerns, and I'm happy to do that with you if you like. But I don't really, you know, engage people directly in debates about whatever their concerns are. I'm giving you a voice and making sure that your concerns get conveyed to the campaign.
Well, you answered my first question. Why don't you answer my second one?
Well, to be honest, I probably shouldn't have answered your first question, but it seemed like initially you were honestly, you know, just wanting to hear more information about her support for women and children. But it sounds to me that you have a specific concern about her stance on abortion, and you know, if I were not at this desk here and had other calls to take, I would engage you in a passionate debate about this, but I just can't do that right now.
Listen, you know what? You've just done what just about everyone I've ever spoken to about this who has your opinion does. They take as much time as it would take to answer the question as to tell me that they can't answer it. You know what? When you spend 10 minutes telling me you don't have 2 minutes to listen, there's something wrong with that situation. When you spend 10 minutes telling me you don't have 2 minutes to answer, there's something wrong with that situation. And that's normally what I get from people in your position. Hypocrisy. You know, I'm going to tell you something. Anyone who touts themselves as a defender of children needs to defend unborn children. Period. And
okay, well,
and listen, your inability to defend that decision reveals the fact that you understand its hypocrisy.
You know, sir, I realize this is an issue that you feel passionately about.
Listen to me. This is my feelings come from my knowledge. My feelings do not come from my feelings. I feel passionate about something because I know I'm right.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure you understand that I'm here with a specific job to do, and that is to hear out your concerns, to log them and make sure they get to the appropriate campaign. But, you know, if I were to engage in a long debate with you about this issue, there are other calls I wouldn't be able to take. So, you know, I'm sorry that it...
Oh, man, you know what? You've just taken the 5 minutes it could have taken you to answer me, to tell me what you can't answer.
I want to be polite, but...
But listen, you know what? You can't hurt my... You listen to me. Polite, you can't hurt my feelings, okay? Because I know I'm right. Okay?
Well, listen, I appreciate your calling, and I am going to have to take some other calls here. But you have a good night.
Crash and burn.
Okay.